So, speaking of machines, y'all, the big machine. It's time to talk about this because I know y'all want to talk about it. I know y'all want to talk about Tasha K and Cardi B. So, this Monday, verdict finally came in that Tasha K was held liable for defamation and making up, lies about Cardi B. The videos are still up. Initially, the charges were 1.25 million. Then they racked up to about 3, and now I'm even hearing 4 million. The other interesting thing was that we all know recently Tasha K hit 1 million subscribers, and it seemed as though a few thousand, like 2,000, unsubscribed to knock her back down to 998K. That may have changed as of this very moment. But there's two aspects to this that I want to speak on. One, I want to speak on Tasha K's statement where she says things such as this is a conspiracy, this was an attempt to drain her money, and she still feels as though she didn't do anything wrong. So I want to talk about that statement because it seemed like there was a lack of accountability to me. We do know that her team is going to try to appeal, which is obviously why she's not going to admit any blame to making up lies. But I want to hear y'all's thought on that part. And then the second thing I want to talk about is what do y'all think about the few thousand people that decided to unfollow her today when this is obviously something that's been going on for it feels like a couple years now at this point. So y'all's thoughts. Okay, Mike.
Like, I know she down to 999. No, 996. She's lost about 400. 4,000 people. But I feel like her response was bullshit. I feel like her statement she was reading from her lawyers was a complete detour from the case. It was confusing because I was like, nothing you really spoke on in that statement had anything to do with the reason you were even being sued. Bringing up a machine, bringing up payola, bringing up kids not being safe in LA and Chicago, and, had nothing to do with the fact that at the end of the day, you made over 20 videos, damn near 30 videos, about one person possibly, saying that they had STDs, prostitution, and all these things. And in your statement about this case, you never mentioned any of that. It was you completely changed the narrative and said it was a conspiracy against yourself. And I was like, that's bullshit, because the machine never asked you to speak on Cardi, for one. The machine could not have came after you unless you put out the consistent content that Cardi kept asking you to cease and desist to do. So for me, while I don't I didn't expect her to come out and say, I'm guilty, I did it, bad me, pal. But to put out a statement that was a complete 360 and had nothing to do with the reason you were even in court was bullshit to me. And to make it seem as if you are the victim and that only payola and sympathy is the reason you lost. No, you lost because you left up the evidence showing you maliciously and consistently and intentionally putting out video after video about her is the reason you lost. And I would have respected if she would have said, you know what, back then I did something. I went, maybe went too far, and this is my predicament. Okay? Cause she do things differently now. So it's fucked up to me to see how your channel has changed from that. And you still sat up in our faces and read a whole statement about bullshit. But she gonna have her subscribers and her followers who support her, which is fine. But gotta call it spade a spade. The statement was bullshit. It was gaslighting at its best, and still making it seem as if like Cardi was the one out here doing wrong, and Cardi is the one who, you know, is tainting children. I'm like, man, look, we had Lil Kim, Fox Brown, you know, Jackie. We've had plenty of artists before Cardi B who was explicitly explicit to people, to children, to young people. So don't make it seem like all of a sudden you want to be this holier than thou blogger trying to save the world, and now they're coming after you. And I was like, that's bullshit. It's stupid. And it's hard for us to, you know, not even want to speak on it because you don't want to, you know, rag on somebody. But I'm like,
Right.
no, you was on bullshit.
It was just giving a sense of deflection. I have to agree.
And lies.
So I said what I had to say in my video earlier. I'm going to reiterate that it was manipulation at its finest. Tasha had on a white turtleneck. She had a Porsche slick back. She took a deep breath. She had a statement ready for y'all. She had a lot of big words, a lot of big buzzwords. Everybody was enjoying hearing a lot of these words. That's very triggering for y'all. The machine, you know, violence, Black communities, okay, degenerates, prostitution, drug use. You know, she was doing a lot. And all I kept thinking of, so are we separating alcoholism from the drug use? Because I'm sorry, but I never knew a wino to be anything other than a degenerate sleep on a concrete outside the corner store. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what box she was standing on when she was doing all of that grandstanding in that statement that she put out. You know, 2-parent household and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But you didn't have any of that consideration for Cardi when Cardi kept asking you to settle and take the shit down and all of that. Remember, you was like, oh, remember we both mothers. And you didn't give a fuck that y'all was both mothers. And now you want us to give a fuck that you, girl. Like I said, you playing in everybody's face because on here, yeah, you know, my dick big on here. But in real life, when all of this shit go down and it's just you and your nigga in the bed at night talking about how y'all gonna figure out how to pay $3.8 million and still maintain, you know, everything y'all got going on, you can act like that's not something stressful, but to a nigga with $10 million in the bank, paying somebody 3.8 should be stressful.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, like I said, when I look at the situation, bitch, it give me bubble guts. So I don't know why, you know, you persisted with all of this and why you are, you know, continuing to persist with this energy when it's, you know, it's low vibrational. And we should aspire to be better as women. And when I say that, we should aspire not to look at other women that they are so beneath us that we can't admit when we fucked up because we got carried away. Because I didn't even know it was 30 videos. God damn, bitch. 30
I didn't know it was 30. I was thinking it was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, Shin. She says, or they say, if she can't tell the truth about her own situation, why would anyone want to hear her talk about other stories? She gave Martell energy. Yeah, absolutely.
And also because she interviews and she can allow for people to make a fool of themselves. Because to me, it seems like she did that with Akbar V.
Mm-hmm.
I only saw a little bit, but when I heard Akbar V talking about the Bible and how, you know, she a prophet or some shit like that, I said, bitch, I'm gonna talk to you later. I hung the phone up, girl. I said, I can't hear this.
So Tasha said that she started off with saying that the conspiracy thing, right? That was a whole lot, okay? Because I you're right, Jaylee. Like, girl, no machine ever told you to bother this woman to begin with. It was a choice that was chose to be made by you. But when she said that the case or whatever was giving sympathy and payola. I was thinking sympathy and payola is accurate because what you're giving me in this video is just that. You're seeking our sympathy and trying to play on words, using buzzwords for the barbs and trying to trigger the quote unquote Black community to go along with whatever narrative or whatever you're trying to put out there for the people. And that's a problem for us to blatantly follow this story. And I've been talking about this story since last year. So to be following this story, getting all this different information from people that were inside the courtroom, and then you come to us with a statement trying to play us on what really happened. I didn't like that at all. Then you're trying to bring in the narrative of being a mom. I would have expected a bit more compassion. So it definitely was giving sympathy and payola as I watched the video, because you do have to pay about $3.8 million. I'm just being real honest.
You do have to pay. I have a question though. I was wondering if that's why she's not removing the videos. So is she still? Are those videos still?
She
monetized?
removed them from YouTube, and from what I understand, put them on her website.
Got it. Okay.
Which is what she should have been doing.
But she'll still make money off of it. So that is the sympathy and payola, like Jami was referring to.
Correct.
Sympathy from us.
But we'll see what's going to we'll see what's going to happen, you know, with the injunction. I don't know if the injunction, now that she's taking down the the videos, if it's just going to be about that, or if they're going to try and turn around and, you know, snatch her channel. If they snatch her channel, I mean, she has other alternatives. She has Patreon. I think people are supporting her there. She also has her website, which is, I think somebody mentioned that they feel like the website could have been created because she kind of already knew. As she said, she wasn't surprised by the verdict. So she probably was like, let me go ahead and get my stuff together in case they try and snatch the sites. I know a lot of us were saying like, yo, she should keep her channel or whatever because that's how she's gonna pay Cardi. But then you find out about the website and the Patreon. So it's like, I think,
and I would hope that's not
the
only
good
thing. I would hope the amount of money we make on YouTube, it may not be all that, but bitch, you need to have a portfolio. Like there's, to me, the money that I'm assuming Tasha has made on YouTube over the past few years, there is no way that you shouldn't have a nice portfolio, that you shouldn't have a hefty savings. Like there's no reason why you shouldn't have bought an apartment building right now to be giving you rent somewhere so that you don't have to do YouTube. Like to me,
that's the first thing I would do if I made a big bag on YouTube.
Is to get something outside of it.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right. That way you're never really dependent upon it like that.
But then that's the thing though, Bondy, because it's like if they're saying that she hasn't paid her taxes in 3 years, it's like, yeah, that's great that you did get those assets outside of YouTube, but I wonder if the IRS seizes those things.
See, I'm nervous about that because I don't ever play with them people like that. You know, people was out here doing YouTube, not saying nothing about what they was making, and I was like, don't play with them people like that. Then people gonna come get their money.
Well, this is the thing about taxes. You have up to 3 years to file. So it could be if she was starting to make more money the past 3 years, if she just been waiting to file for those 3 years, she's okay. However, if she's filing but not just claiming all the money she's making, now that's gonna be the fucked up part. But you can take up to 3 years. It's stupid to do that, but you have up to 3 years. But I do feel like she should be moving differently because the amount she has sponsors. Like she's not really even dependent upon ads how we are sometimes.
She lost one today.
She lost
Scentberg. As she was losing followers, she lost the sponsor.
But you know what I think? I think the reason she probably lost people today was based on her statement. Because
I think that's what it is, because people were still supporting her, but the statement
they were expecting an apology or some type of acknowledgement. And they didn't get that. They got craziness.
See, and that's what I want to make sure is clear. Like I know Tasha K probably ain't too pressed going from 1 million to 996. That's not the point. But what I would be pressed over, what I would be just tight over is having to pay somebody almost $4 million over it. That is, and that part to me is the part that I don't get it. And you've had opportunities to end it. No. Your pride is just so big. That's the thing to where I'm like, Hate
wonder
to see
what that's
it.
about. I wonder what that's about. Like, I wonder what the upbringing was like. Because I don't know about a lot about Tasha's like upbringing. I've never really heard her talk about it like that. I just know she worked at that restaurant. Armand Wiggins put her business out there. About working at a restaurant, but I feel like it was something she said anyway. But either way, like I don't know much about her.
Yeah,
but
she
I
said
feel
it
like
in that thing when she got her statement.
Mhm.
She said she used to work at 52 Seasons or something as a server.
Yeah.
Server.
But yeah, I just kind of feel like there has to be something there for why you want to hold on to such a negative situation. You know what I'm saying? Why would you not want to move on from this in a real way? You know what I mean? Like, why would you not want to put this to bed? Like, why would you want to exert energy away from your family to deal with something that could have just been as simple as, all right, unlisted?
Right.
Especially if you already made your first month's check off of it, which is the
Right.
bulk that you make on these videos, y'all, which is why she had to make so many thereafter, because you only gonna make so much money off them videos when you first make them. Like, at least as far as I know, and I have videos, maybe they don't have millions of views like her, but that have hundreds of thousands. And at the
Yeah,
end
at
of the
least
day,
hot topics. When you talk about hot topics and stuff like that, yeah, the shelf life is not.
It's a week
no.
max. It's like a week max. And that's just, so all your subscribers can like watch it. But it's weird because it's like the video she did wasn't even like recent. Like, this is like 2019 shit. So it's like you could have been dead. Like, this, it didn't even need to go
you
this
already
far.
made your money, right?
Right. And she just kept going. And that's the weird part.
But by her continuing it, the shelf life of those videos actually lasted longer because people want to go back
and watch
see what it's. Yes, people want to go back.
But that's
and see
why
what
she
it's
lost
about.
in court, because she had the proof. Because I said before on my video, I said it's one thing if me and Bondy have a conversation and I say some rude shit, and Bondy didn't say, well, she said this, ain't no proof I said it. Tasha left the proof of what she was saying, so it's like you lost because you left the evidence of what you did to her. So it was weird for me when she like, there was no.
Wasn't she on audio saying she knew she was lying?
That's what I thought.
think she did say that she knew that Cardi. She didn't have. It wasn't a fact that she knew Cardi had the disease,
which we knew it couldn't be. You couldn't legally know that.
Videos about it. That's the crazy part. Like you kept. I remember because I was like, damn, she going in on that lady. Like, because it was, to me, I was like, you doing a lot. So if I remember what happened, for you to leave the videos up and then be acting like, well, they, for pay. No, bitch. Not bitch, but no, they seen the videos. So no one painted you out to be this mean. You showed them yourself talking reckless.
And another thing, y'all know they've been talking about the R. Kelly situation.
That's how she paid to get that information.
She said that on camera too. And I remember her saying it and being like, why the fuck are you always saying shit on camera? Stupid. I don't get it.
Speaking of, once we start talking about shelf life and stuff like that, it kind of made me wonder if she continued to pursue this in the name of hitting that 1 million mark, because it was more buzz around her then. Maybe so much so to where she thought that if I continue to fight this, my name will get larger and I could possibly have the case dismissed. So she thought that it might have ended up in a win-win situation for her at the end of it. She could have thought that this was so bad that it would have ended up being good business for her in the end, because her name would have been out. You know how they say no press is bad press? Maybe that's the way she was looking at it, and she continued to spearhead it.
Honestly,
but it also show her
that's why she don't regret it. That's why she don't regret it. Because she gained so much from the situation that even if she has to pay that lady money, she's already gotten her subscribers, her notoriety, and her reputation for giving stories to bigger platforms. So at the end of the day, like she was saying, you know what I mean? Like, she set herself up with that story, whether it was true or not. And that's the sad thing. Like Charlamagne said, why would people care about the truth when lies are more entertaining?
So, she gonna learn eventually. But it's I won't say that, but I feel like She said, like, everybody, has to go through this. Not me. Like, I would never, we don't even report shit how she reports shit. So I'm like, we would never even have to worry about being sued like that, because we not like, well, so-and-so got an STD because so-and-so. It's like, no. It's like the Jasmine brand said, A, B, C, D, F, and G, this is my opinion. The difference is she was like making it be factual, and we don't do that. So while I think this case is big enough to make some YouTubers move differently, but those are for people who already was being, just a little bit shady and shit. And, saying reckless shit and not really caring about it. Where I ain't doing that. Like, I'm like, I respect my channel. But I think she was at a point to where she was just like, you know what? I'm going to keep being a shock jock. I'm going to keep saying whatever, because it's getting me views, getting me clicks. And that's what I'm caring about, right? Because this is back in 2019. But that's why I felt like if she can say, hey, that's how I operated then. I'm operating different. Because, like, the fact that she was sitting down with, coleslaw, she didn't sit down with Akbar, you giving more respect to a side chick and a bitch who don't even rap that well than you gave to Cardi. And Cardi ain't do shit to you. So, to me, I'm looking like we already see that you conduct your interviews and your conversations differently when you're speaking about women who do fuck shit. Because coleslaw was on some fuck shit. Akbar V be on some fuck shit. But you ain't make not nan video about them, how you did it about Cardi then. So you do things different. So it's like to not acknowledge that you were doing things in a different way then. Acknowledging how you used to do things doesn't mean you're saying you're at fault. You're just admitting, well, this is what happened. I was talking like that then, but I'm different now. But no, you want to come up here and flip shit and bring up goddamn payola and fucking.
I hate to see it. Good luck in my Jami ThatsMe voice on the whole situation. Y'all have any other comments?
Nah, baby. Nah.
All right. Well, we done said it all. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. Hope y'all were here for the pre-show to see us talk to Cree. But of course, y'all go ahead, give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at OohLadiesFirst. Follow Bondy at Bondy Blue, Jay Lee at Jay Lee's Corner, Jami ThatsMe, and of course, Necey Dixon, me right here. It's another Thursday. Glad to be here with y'all for another great show. Glad that you're back, Jay Lee. And we got more good things to come. So, with that being said, y'all, I think we can go ahead and call it a night. Good night.